All right, so my name is Ayomide Tolueton, and I'm going to be your anchor for today. I have two other people joining me to anchor, Sazi and Peter. Please, can you guys say hello? Sazi and Peter, please say hello to our Jambites.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Sazi, and you're welcome to the JAMB Webinar.
Okay. Peter, please introduce yourself.
My name is Peter, and I'm one of your anchor. You're all welcome to the JAMB Webinar.
All right, thank you, Peter. All right, we have our speakers with us as well, Kamsiyochukwu and Stephen Aguele. Please, can you say hello?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Aguele. I am the second. I was the one with the second highest transfer in the just concluded 2022 UTM examination. I had a score of 358.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Welcome to the webinar. Kamsi, please, can you introduce yourself as well?
Hi everyone, my name is Kamsiyochukwu Umeh. I was the top scorer in the just concluded JAM exam. I had 360 out of 400. So good to be here.
Yeah, same here. Thank you for joining us. And I want to welcome each and every one of you to this meeting today. You are the important people here. Yes, all the Jambites, welcome. Thank you for joining. And please, if you know your friend is not here, please, you could just take your phone and text them, tell them to join immediately. You have the link, so send it across to everybody, all your friends, your classmates, so that they could join the meeting. Thank you very much. All right, we'll start with the safety and ground principles. Godwin, please share the slide. Hi, Godwin. Can you hear me? All right, so this is can you guys see the screen? Can you all see the screen? The first safety and ground principles is your personal safety. Not safe to join while driving. I'm sure all of us here are not driving right now because you won't be focused. So please do not join the call while driving. Secondly, please make sure you are joining from a safe place. A safe place. Thank you. Thirdly, economically relaxing space. You need to be comfortable. You need lights. You need data and the rest. So please be very comfortable while you're on this meeting. Thank you. Now the ground principles. The first one is please be ready to learn.
No.
Mute yourself. Chionso, please mute yourself. Thank you. The first ground principles is be ready to learn and collaborate. Be ready to learn and collaborate. If you don't open up yourself, you would not be able to get anything from this meeting today. So be open-minded and ready to learn. Secondly, kindly ensure your mic is muted except you are speaking. Kindly ensure your mic is muted except you are speaking. Thirdly, use the raise hand button when you want to speak. Abdullah, please mute your mic. Thank you. Use the raise hand button when you want to speak. Don't just unmute your mic and then start talking. We won't appreciate that. So please, if you want to speak, the button is here. It's just like this. It's like your palm on your screen. So you click on it, and once we see it, we'll give you the audience to speak. Thank you. The last one is make use of the chat box as well. If you have anything to say and you don't want to speak, because I know some persons are shy to talk and the rest. So if you don't want to speak and you don't want us to see your face, or you don't want us to hear your voice, you can use the chat box. Thank you very much. So the last ground principles that we're going to be showing now is the video. A video on how to use the Google Meet, this platform we're on right now, because the questions that you're going to be asking Kamsi and Abdullah, please mute your mic. Thank you very much. The questions you're going to be asking Kamsi and Steven is not going to be on the chat box. Please listen attentively. The questions that you're going to be asking Kamsi and Steven, you won't send them on the chat box. You have to send them in the Q&A session. Now, when we play the video, please pay attention and watch how to get to the Q&A session. Do you guys understand? Because I won't want people to start saying, we can't, nobody's answering my question, I've been posting my question on the chat box and nobody's responding. Please and please, no questions will be answered from the chat box. The questions will be answered from the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, pay attention to the video, watch it, and learn how to get to the Q&A session. Thank you. Godwin, please, the video. Thank you.
Hello guys, this is a step-by-step guide on how to join the meeting on Google Meet. Go to your browser and type google.meet. It will open and direct you to Google Play Store. Click on See in Play Store app. When it opens the Play Store app, click Open or Install or Update, whichever one your Play Store displays, and it will take you to this page. Click on the search button, enter the meeting code. Then you type in the meeting code that is on the flyer and click the join button. Then it will take you to another page where you will click another join button and it takes you directly to the meeting. Once you've joined the meeting, the first thing to do is to mute your mic. After doing that, if you have any question, you click on the hand button that's showing down here, the fourth button here, and then it shows that you've raised up your hand. When you're done asking your questions, you click on it as well, and then it removes the hand. To send messages and ask questions, click on the three dots on the right-hand side of your screen below. When it opens, you click on In-Call Messages, and then it takes you to the chat box where you have the opportunity to chat if you have any issue.
Alright, guys, just hold on. I think we have network issues ongoing.
Opens, you click on ask a question, and then you'll be able to type in whatever questions you want to ask the speakers or the anchors. Once you're done typing in your questions, click on post, and then the question will be posted in the Q&A session. To vote for a question you like, you click on the thumbs up icon on the question, and once your question has been answered, you get a blue tick on the question as well. Now when the meeting is over, click on the red icon on the left hand side of your screen to leave the meeting. The link to join the meeting is on the flyer on your screen. Please copy it and paste it on your browser to join the meeting, and I'll see you at the webinar. Thank you.
Alright, guys, that was the video. How many of you were able to get or to learn how to get to the Q&A session? Did you guys get that part?
No, ma.
You didn't get it?
Yes,
No.
ma. We didn't get it.
All right. So I'll just quickly say it. Okay, everybody on your screen, can you see an icon that has 3 different shapes in it? 3 different shapes. If you click on
No,
it, it
ma.
Yeah,
says
I think that
activities.
is triangle, square, and circle.
Yes, thank you. So once you click on it, it takes you to a page. Then you click on Q and A. Once you click on Q and A, you will be able to type in your questions, and that's all. So now we are moving on to the next agenda on our list, which is the icebreaker, the fastest fingers. So we are going to display different networks like airtime on the screen. So all you have to do is copy it and load it on your phone. The winner should respond on the chat box. Whoever gets the airtime, please indicate in the chat box. Go to the chat box and type like tell us that you've gotten the airtime. That's what I mean. Tell us that you've gotten the airtime. So we are moving on to how many of you are you ready? First of all, are
No,
you guys
ma.
ready? You're not ready.
Yes, ma. I still can't get how to. I still don't know how to get to the Q and R
We'll get to
chat
that. We'll get to
box.
that. We are on the fastest fingers right now, so we have to move on. I will still explain that later when it's time for the Q&A session. Okay? So for
Okay,
now,
ma.
we are moving on to the next slide, which is the fastest fingers. So please, okay, if you go to the chat box, somebody is typing how you get to the Q&A. Go to the chat box now. Somebody is typing how you get to the Q&A session. So, Yemi, please, the next slide. We don't have time. We don't have time. Copy it, put it on your phone or whatever. Once you get it, please go to the chat box and respond. Go to the chat box and respond so that we'll know that all airtime has been taken by someone. Okay? Are we done? Can we move on? Should I close the page? Should I close the page?
Yes, ma.
All right. So moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the next slide, we would like to welcome Kamsi and Steven. Kamsi and Steven, please, can you
Oh God, don't move
show
on.
your face? Like, we want to see your face. Turn on your video, please.
Ma.
Kamsi and Steven, please turn on your videos. Hi, Kamsi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
All right, please turn on your camera. Hi, Steven, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you very clearly.
Please turn on your
I've turned it
camera.
on.
All right, so we are moving on to why we are here. Yes, we are moving on to why we are here. First of all, how many of you guys know Kamsi? Like, you've heard of her? You saw the videos, the viral videos that went around last year when she came out top, like the top JAMB students in the whole of Nigeria. So, please go to the next page. Kamsi is from Anambra State and she schools at Covenant University. You guys can see her UTME score there, 360. English 66, maths 98, physics 97, chemistry 99. I'm sure most of you would like to have this type of score. How many of you would like to have this type of score in your JAM?
Hi.
Okay, that's good. So please pay attention. Pay rapt attention because it's not easy. It's not easy to get this type of score. So let's go down to Steven as well. Hi, Godwin. The next page, please. All right, so this is Steven. He's from Edo State and he's also in Covenant University. You guys can see his scores, right? How many of you would also like to have this type of score?
Yeah, we are plenty.
Okay, you are plenty. All right, no problem. So
Ah,
now
yeah.
now we are moving on to the main thing for today. All right, so we'll be asking Kamsi and Steven few questions before we move into the general questions that's going to come from you guys, which are the Jambites. Kamsi and Steven, I can't see your face. I need to see you guys. Please, just stay with me. Stay with
Can you
me here.
see me now?
All right, Kamsi. Okay, so the first question we have for you guys is, what was your experience preparing for JAMB? Was it exhausting? Were you nervous or anxious? Were you nervous or anxious? Were there distractions you faced? Please kindly share with us. So we'll go with Kamsi first. Then once Kamsi is done, Stephen would speak. So I'll take the question again. Kamsi, can you hear me? Please confirm you can hear me. All right. The question
Yes,
is,
I can hear you.
what was your experience? What was your
I
experience
can hear you.
preparing for JAMB? Was it exhausting? Were you nervous or anxious? Were there distractions you faced? Please kindly share with us.
Yes, I was very anxious. In fact, I was so scared looking at all the past questions. At some point, I used to feel like, wow, there's no way I'm going to cover this syllabus, and there's honestly no way. In fact, when I was really terrified, and you know, sorry, ma, please, what's the second part of the question?
Okay, the second part of the question is, were there any distractions you faced? Like, was there any distractions during your preparations for your JAMB exam?
Any distractions? None of them were external. Like, majority of them would have come from me if there were any distractions at all, because they put us in a kind of setting where we will not be distracted by anything externally. But there were some internal distractions. Sometimes I would be tired, sometimes I would just want to drop my books and give up for the day, things like that.
All right, that is scary. Yes, because I'm sure most Jambites now will be scared that Kamsi was tired. Kamsi wanted to drop her books. Are you serious? So what am I doing? All right, so let's move on to Stephen. Stephen, please, can you tell us your own experience? What was your experience preparing for JAMB? Were there any challenges? Were you anxious? Were you scared like Kamsi? Please, we want to know.
Well, for me personally, Jam was a roller coaster of emotions. I was very, very anxious about it. Although I wrote Jam twice actually. I wrote the first time and last year was my second time. I wrote the first time was during my SS2. So during the SS2 I kind of had to feel for it. So the second time it was a lot better. But the first time my heart literally wanted to burst. Because according to everything you see on the internet and like stuff, jam looks like this scary, super scary exam. But the second time when I was writing, the emotions were a lot easier to control. Although I'm still not going to lie, I was still very nervous my second time writing it. So as for the distractions part, I was a day student, so there were a lot of distractions on my part, both from the outside world and myself personally.
Ma, his voice is not
I
that clear. I
I
can't
I
hear what
like
he's saying.
anime a lot. I like anime a lot, so I had to give up a lot of things that period because they were actually distracting me. Then in school, going to school, the my classmates, and when I get back home, my family, lots of things I have to do. You just want to
Sorry,
read, and then your
sorry,
mom will
I'm so
just.
sorry for cutting you, Steven. Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of people saying they can't hear you. So please, can you speak louder so they could hear you? Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry for
so
cutting you.
as I was saying before, like there were a lot of distractions on my part. Sometimes from school, my classmates, and other times from my family. Sometimes you get back home, all you just want to do is just upload and then bring out the books and start studying. And when you reach that climax or when you enter the zone and everything is just flowing, you're just assimilating. Your mom just shouts your name and says, "Go and wash plates." Just So there were a lot of distractions everywhere.
Okay, yeah, I understand that part. Yeah, it happened to me too. Like when I was writing JAMB, not even JAMB, most of my exams I wrote. You'd be in the house, maybe reading, and then you just hear, "Ayo, come and wash plates. Ayo, come and do this. Ayo, come and do that." I can relate to that. All right. Thank you for your response. You mentioned that you wrote JAMB twice. Could you share us your scores? Like the first score you had, like want to know. How many of you want to know? Because me, I want to know. So please, can you tell us what you had?
I want to know. Okay, actually, my first jam score was very a lot lower than my current, like my last one. I had 277 in my first jam. So
What?
yeah.
That's not low. Huh? Okay, but that
Well,
that's good.
considering that a lot less than the past one, so that's why I said it's kind of low.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand. But I don't know if you guys want to hear my own jam score, sha, but I'm not going to tell anybody. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to the next question. Are you guys ready for it? Hi, Kamsi. Kamsi, I can't see your face again. No, it's like you disappeared.
I'm still here.
All right. Please show us your face. Thank you very much. All right. So the second question is, while studying, what resources did you use? Like, did you use past questions? Did you use textbook? Because I know there are a lot of people out there that want to know. Did you use your past questions, textbooks? Did you read online? Like, how did you study? What were the resources you used? What did you use? What was helpful to you? Yes, I think that's the right word. What was helpful to you? What resources were helpful to you? So, Kamsi, as usual, you go first.
Okay. Yes, I made use of my textbooks, but I mainly focused on past questions because I honestly felt like they were more helpful to me than textbooks. For my physics, I made use of what they call this textbook? Hidden facts. Do you guys know hidden facts? I made use of hidden facts for my physics. I remember that one. Then for my math textbooks, they're not really so useful for this kind of exams. So that one, it was mainly just the practice we had in class and then past questions. English, I made use of past questions. I think that's the best. Then for my chemistry, I used my textbooks and my past questions.
So, you didn't use any online app or anything?
Oh, yes, yes. Like when I say past questions, I'm also including online apps.
Online.
The major app I
Okay.
used, it was not online because we did not have access to internet connection in school. It was downloaded. The name of the app is Test Driller. That's the name of the app that I used.
Okay.
Then at some point, I used to I used my school. I think we've heard of my school app. Yeah, those were the two apps I made use of.
All right. Thank you very much. Because I saw somebody's comment. The person was asking if you use online apps. All right, over to you, Stephen. Should I read out the question again? Or you got it?
I got the question
All
the
right.
first time. So for me, I actually use a lot of materials when I was studying because I'm the kind of person that like I like reading a lot. I like books. So I had multiple textbooks for each subject. You don't really have to have multiple textbooks to actually pass the subject though, because most of them are actually saying the same thing, just in different languages. So I was the kind of person that liked those extra details in the other textbooks that I got. For what I said, what I was trying to use the most was actually past questions. Past questions was like my girlfriend that period. I never went anywhere without my past questions books. I had so many, and I tried as much as possible to practice them every day. Then as for my apps, I used my school app. Like in the morning, early in the morning, when my dad is driving me to school, and or is driving me to the place where I'm going to take my classes, I'll just open my phone, and even if it's just one subject, physics, I'll just answer all the questions I can answer. Chemistry, I'll answer all the questions I can answer. I was always answering past questions, and I always took note of the questions that I feel. So when I started getting close to the exam, and it was time for my revision, what I would do is that I would revise the topic in the textbook, then I would go and answer past questions on that topic. So if I could score extremely high on that topic based on past questions I had answered, then I would be okay, okay, this topic is cleared. Then I move on to the next topic. That's what I was doing for physics, chemistry, and math. I only started reading English 3 days to the examination, to be very honest. I didn't really do too many past questions on English. I just read a very good English textbook for my English. That's how I passed my English. But for physics, chemistry, and math, I was answering past questions, reading the textbook, and go and answer based on that topic. And the past question book I really used the most was JAM Remix. JAM Remix was a compilation of questions based on topics. So it actually made my reading a lot easier and faster. After reading maybe simple harmonic motion, I'll just go to JAM Remix and I'll see all the questions based on a particular JAM pack on simple harmonic motion. So in less than 30 minutes, I'm done with everything on simple harmonic motion. That way I was able to clear topics very fast and very easily. So that was how I prepared for my exam.
All right. That was very, very insightful. Please, and please, everyone, try to pay attention to what they are saying because they will repeat themselves. Oh. They will not repeat themselves. I'm seeing a lot of hands raised up. So please just keep your questions, There'll be time for that. And also pay attention. Please pay attention to what he's saying or what Kamsi is saying so that you will get everything you need to get. Thank you. So we'll move on to the next question. Hi, Kamsi. I can't see your face again. Kamsi. The next question is, while preparing for JAMB, were you certain of your reading materials? Like, were you certain that these materials I'm reading are the right materials? It's something more like, were you scared you were reading the wrong materials? It's just a short question, maybe a yes or no, or maybe. I guess, Kamsi, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Please go
No,
on.
I don't think I ever had the fear that I was reading the wrong materials. No.
Okay.
All right. Kamsi was not scared. She felt she was reading the right material. Stephen, how about you?
For me, I wasn't scared at all because as I said before, while I was reading the textbooks, I would go immediately to the past questions I used. I'll go to my JAM Remix book, and then I would actually see, okay, I saw this in the textbook. I thought that
Ma
was
use
textbook.
Sorry,
Okay,
I want to get the name of the book. It
it.
says JAMB Remix or
Jam remix. Jam remix.
Remix. Okay, because they've been asking on the chat. So you guys heard he said JAMB Remix. All right, go on.
I would be answering the questions on Jam Remix or my Jam Pack. I would say, okay, I saw this, I didn't see this. Then I would go to my other textbooks. Out of all the textbooks I had for each subject, I had a favorite. Like for my chemistry, my favorite was New School Chemistry, Ababu, that's what people call it. For math, I liked understanding mathematics. I also use New General Mathematics once in a while. One for physics, understanding physics. I think the name was understanding physics. So if I saw a particular past question that my favorite textbook didn't tackle, then I'll go to my other textbooks for reference, look through it for what I'm looking for. But I didn't really go on Google to look for answers to questions because I felt Google wasn't too reliable because it was people's opinions. When I couldn't find something, I would go to YouTube. I felt YouTube was better. And before I watched the video, I would check for the number of subscribers and the number of views and the comments to check the reliability of that video to know if what this person is saying is actually making sense before I watch it. And most times going through that cycle, I would end up getting the answers to all the past questions that I looked through. So I wasn't scared at all. I was really, really confident after studying.
All right, that was insightful. So up to the next question because we want to be fast. Kamsi, are you there? Hi, Kamsi.
Sure.
All right, she's
Hi,
back.
Ayo.
All right. So the next question says, were you able to finish studying all the past questions you like? Did you finish? Did you read the book from front to back? Like you turned it upside down? Like you finished
No,
everything?
no,
Okay, Steven, how about
no.
you? Steven?
Nah, I didn't. I did not.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Me too. I did not, sir. I didn't finish my own. I can't even finish it. All right, so let's move to the next question. It says for students who are day schooled and return home daily. Okay, first let's know. Let's want to know. Kamsi, did you day school or you went to a boarding school?
I was a border throughout.
Okay, Steven, how about you?
I was a day school student. I went to a day school.
Okay. All right. That means we are expecting two different responses from you guys. So for Kamsi, for like okay, you already mentioned that you didn't face any challenges during your preparation. So I guess you've answered that question already. And I think Steven, you've answered this question.
Sorry, Ayo, I can't hear you. I think your microphone went off.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I said for students who are day school and return home daily, what tips can you give us like the people that want to write JAMB? Now, I'm not writing JAMB, but us concerning the study patterns, given the fact that we have duties to attend to. Like when you said your mother will call you to come and wash plates. Like, so what did you do to overcome it? Like, how did you? I don't know the word to use, but I guess you understand my question, Abby. All
Okay,
right.
guys, as day school students, I'm not going to lie to you. You are going to have very limited time. So you have to pattern your time so carefully. Your time is extremely precious. And I'm not going to lie, it's difficult. At first, I had problems getting used to my schedule, the schedule I drafted for myself. But over time, I got used to it. And you have to, once you create that schedule for yourself, you have to stick with it. The first thing I would advise, you have to know your body, first of all. There are two types of people. There are night people, there are day people. There are people that are more productive during the day, and there are people that are more productive during the night. To a certain extent, I was a bit of both of them because no matter when I studied, as long as I was conscious and I was determined, I could be productive during both times. So, firstly, let's say you wake up and you first, as a day school student, you will be the last person to sleep in the house, and you will be the first person to wake up. sometimes you might sleep late into the night, and then maybe your parents really want to wake you up. That's fine. But most times for me, I was always the last to sleep. My dad, my mom would be sleeping, my brother and sister sleeping, and I would be studying. While before all of them had woken up, I had woken up earlier, bathed, gotten ready, and then while they are getting ready, I would just quickly open a book or two. You try as much as possible to not let any time slip from your hands. While you're in the car, you're studying, you're answering past questions. When you get to school and your friends are playing, talking during break, stuff like that, you eat while the cola is beside you. You are putting a spoon in your mouth. You are solving. You drop the pen. You put another one in your mouth. You're solving. You have to maximize your time as much as you can because you have very limited time. Because you writing down is not going to stop that house from being swept. You are going to sweep that house. Your mom is going to make you sweep that house. You writing jam is not going to stop you from washing those plates. As long as you're eating, you're definitely going to wash plates. So any little time that you have, the time that you use for drama, you have to sacrifice it for now. The time you use for games, Call of Duty, anime, you have to sacrifice all of that for now. Because once you sacrifice it, after you write the exam, all those times will come back to you. It will be worth it. So you have to sacrifice it them now. So that was just my experience, basically.
Awesome. Awesome. That was powerful from you, Steven. Thank you very much. You people should stop. All of you that like anime, he said that leave it for now. After the JAMB exam, when you're done, you can go back to your anime. Okay? All right. So we have just 3 minutes left for this session. So you have just 2 questions. So please be fast. Like, if you can be fast to answer the question. So, Kamsi, can you hear me? The next
Yeah, I
question
can hear you.
is, did you believe you could achieve or achieved? Like, did you aim for it? Were you aiming? Did you set it as a goal that I want to get this particular score? Please go on. Kamsi, over
Um,
to
I'm not really sure how to answer this one. No, it was like what I got. It was it was an inner aspiration, not really what I wrote for myself. My goal was actually much lower. When I
Okay,
was
so
looking
what
at
did you write
the
for
past
yourself?
question, my ability. So yes, I believed I could achieve it, but to be honest, I was not expecting to.
All right, thank you very much. Steven.
Mhm.
For me, right from day one, I actually felt, yes, I could do this through Christ that strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So I really, really believed and I worked as hard as possible for it. My goal actually was to be the highest scorer, but I thank God I still came as the second highest scorer. So I believed from day one.
All right.
You
That's
get
good.
phone.
That's good.
Na
All right,
call
the
you
last
get.
question. The last question is, what advice would you give to the current Jambas listening to you regarding that part? The question you just asked, like the question you just answered. Excuse me. The question you just answered, like what advice could you give to them? Should they believe? Should they set a goal? Like, do you understand? All right, Kamsi, please.
Mhm. Um, yes, I think that we should set goals. Setting goals helps us to work harder, the motivation to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. So I think, yes, we should set goals. I mean,
All right. Thank you very much,
but it's
Kamsi.
not now you
Steven.
should be setting goals. You're supposed to have
Okay,
set your goals
Kamsi,
since.
go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said it's not now you're supposed to be setting goals. You're supposed to have set your goals since a long time ago so that you
Yeah.
start working towards them, for a while
Okay.
now.
All right, Steven, over to you.
Well, for me, I'm going to be very fast right now. Belief is very, very important because if you don't believe it, then you'll be so discouraged. There are tough times are going to come. There are going to be times when you are going to be like, why am I even doing all of these things? Like, what's the point? Is it not the same university all of us are even going to? And you want to drop your books, like that point is always going to come. But if you don't have belief and you don't have what you are looking towards, then you are definitely going to give up. So for me, because I told myself that I was going to be the highest scorer, I told myself no matter what is I was going to keep on pressing, I was going to keep on pushing, and I wouldn't give up. So I searched online what was the highest jump score that I'd ever been scored before. That was I think 370 something. So my goal actually was 370 something. In JAM, also one thing that I noticed for me, whatever you set as your standard, you end up scoring a bit lower than that. So since my standard was 370 something, I ended up getting 358. So my major goal was 370 something and to be the highest. So therefore, I started setting little goals to reach that 370 something goal. Okay, today I'm going to study 5 hours. Tomorrow I'm going to reduce my sleep time a bit. Next tomorrow I'm going to detach myself from my friends and just during break time I'm just going to study. These were little goals I was setting for myself. And over time, all these little goals helped me build in discipline, helped me build diligence and resilience that I needed to eventually tackle that big goal of scoring extremely high in JAM.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I hope you guys are listening.
You're muted.
Your mic
Please
is
unmute your mic.
unmute your mic, please.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Very sorry about that. So we have one more question, Kamsi.
But
If
please, you haven't
you
answered my question.
would answer your question, just hold on.
Yes, I got
Thank you.
something.
Your questions will be answered. Thank you. Kamsi, if you would do it again, like if you could do it all over again, what do you think you would have done differently? That's regarding your preparations for JAM.
Um, to be honest, I don't know. Um, I don't actually know what I would have done differently if I could do it again. What would I have done differently? I don't think there's anything that I would do differently.
All right, maybe we should give you time to think more so that you get back to us. So, Steven, if you could go all over again, what would you
Okay.
do
For me,
differently?
there are two things I would have done differently. Actually, the first one, or rather, the second one happened during the exam. So I don't know if I should leave that one out for now. But I'll talk about the one that happened during my preparation. Starting off my preparation for JAM, my strongest subject was mathematics. I was very, very good at mathematics. So throughout the course of my exam, I was actually focusing on my weaker subjects, which was chemistry and physics, especially physics. Man, I jacked physics and chemistry, organic chemistry, metals and non-metals. I jacked all of those ones. And then English, which was actually going to be my lowest, I set aside, I think, 3 to 4 days before the examination because I knew I was going to cram English. So I just said, let me just cram it close to the exam so that it will not evaporate. So 3 to 4 days towards the exam, I severely crammed English, but I paid very little attention to math because in class, as the teacher is teaching, I easily understand what was going on. So I thought, okay, since I'm understanding this, I won't practice it as much as what I was weaker than. And it turns out, aside from English, because English is definitely always going to be your lowest, between physics, chemistry, and math, my strongest subject ended up being my lowest score, which was 90. So I kind of regret that a bit. And the second thing I would have done differently actually happened during the exam. So I don't know if we end up talking about during the exam, the interface. I think I'll bring it up then. Or should I bring it up now? Okay, so
Please bring it up now.
one thing I would have done differently during the exam was that I think I wouldn't have panicked. Like I said before, I was anxious during the exam. When I got there, the person to my left was an art student and she hadn't used the system in her life before. So this girl and the whole jam situation, there are cameras everywhere. If you talk, they'll check out your score and your score will be gone like that. You're right next year. So this girl was talking to me in the examination hall, and I'm like, woman, why are you talking to me in the hall? And I was trying to like give her the eye signals, like she shouldn't talk to me. She should reach out to the invigilator, but she wasn't listening to me. She was still asking me questions. And then I think the person to my right, although I wasn't too sure of this, I think she was also a science student too. And it kind of felt like she was copying me, but I wasn't sure of that, so I didn't make any acquisitions. So at this situation, I was in a very uncomfortable situation writing my examination, and I was panicking all over. Do I submit now? Like, because I finished very early. I had 20 minutes to spare on my exam. I was wondering whether I submit or whether I go over my work. So I ended up submitting, which was wrong of me. After I finished the exam and I was recollecting, I realized that there were some mistakes I made that I shouldn't have made during the examination. So if I could go back in time, regardless of where I am or the situations around, I will focus on my system. And once I finish, I'll revise my work till the very last second. Although I will submit like maybe 2 or 3 minutes before the time is over, because I think it's better to submit your examination. But I would maximize those 20 minutes I had left. I would have done differently if I had the chance to go back.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephen. That was really, really
Okay.
insightful. Yeah, Kamsi, over to you.
Okay. One thing I would have done differently. I said before that I faced a lot of internal distractions, and I think I would have avoided those distractions a lot more. In school, we had laptops, like everyone had their own personal laptop and everything, and those laptops used to be such a huge distraction for me. So one thing I would have done, I would have focused only on preparing for my jam with my laptop, and everything else I would just have pushed it away until I was finished. Then I would have, tried to
Okay.
more than I did reading my books. So I think I would have tried to read, like cover the syllabus, focus more on covering the syllabus than on past questions. Because the truth is, all those past questions, JAM never releases their questions. They never release their questions. So all those past questions, that they are throwing around is just maybe they did a survey of, okay, what has JAM said before, all those things, and then they will come up with their own questions. Those are not actually the real JAM questions, according to what they told us in school. So I believe from the onset of preparation, I think it would have been better for me to focus more on reading my books than on using past questions. So yeah.
All right. That was very impressive. Thank you very much, Kamsi. Thank you very much, Stephen. So just to let's use this as an icebreaker. What were your funny moments while like during your preparations? One of your funny moments for Stephen, I remember he said your mom will call you to come and wash plates. Abi, that was funny. But if you can give us more funny moments, let's just to lighten up the air. So we'll start with Stephen now. Please go on.
Actually, that mom telling me to come and watch this isn't even in my top 10. So, like, I remember this day so clearly, so clearly. I was studying physics that day, and it was waves. It was wave motion I was studying. So I had come back from school. I dropped everything, and I was studying. Midnight had clocked, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and by two, my spirit had departed from my body. So I didn't even rest my head. I was like this, and the Bible was just in my hand, and I was just there. I was sleeping in that position. And then my father, because he had woken up, he wanted to check on me, and my father touched me. But my spirit hadn't come back to my body yet. So I was like tension and frequency and Then he was not looking at me. I was like, Daddy, wait, Daddy, wait, Daddy, wait. I said, Master, you need length. Then he just shouted. He shouted Jesus. And that's when my spirit finally came back. And then I was like, he started advising me. He said, Steven, you won't be the first person to write this exam. Please, I beg, calm down. He was not advising me. I said, Daddy, okay, I'll take it easy. He didn't allow me read the next 2 days, but eventually he let me go back to my books. So that was actually my funniest experience throughout the course of my exam.
Okay, that was really, really funny. Like, are you serious? So you just stayed like this? Were your eyes
Like
closed?
seriously,
Were your
if you
eyes
could
closed?
actually meet my dad, yes, my eyes were closed. If you could meet my
Okay.
dad would confirm this story. My eyes were closed, the Bible was still in my hand, and my neck was just bent slightly, and I wasn't resting my head. I was still in a sort of reading position, but I was sleeping. So that's why he was so concerned. That's
Somebody
how
just
it.
said that there's power in the name of Jesus. All right.
Exactly.
So
There's power in the name of
Kamsi,
Jesus.
Kamsi, please tell us your funny experience.
Funny experiences. I, uh-uh. I honestly can't remember any. I can't remember much of exact things, exact scenarios that happened when I was preparing for my exam. So I don't think I have any funny stories. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. So I think from here we will end this session. I hope you guys gained a lot from this section. The Jam Bites. I hope you guys gained a lot from this session. We still
Sorry,
have
I have,
another session. I know
sorry,
you
I have a
have
question.
questions. I know you have questions. Yes, I know you have questions. Just write down your questions, get a piece of paper, write down your questions. And when it's time, we have a session for the Q&A. Like we have a separate section for Q&A. So when it's time, you would ask your questions, okay? You would ask your questions.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm very, very sorry for the break. Very, very sorry for the break. So we are moving on to the next section. Like I said, get a piece of paper and a pen and write down your questions. They are still going to talk. They still have lots of things to tell us. So please just write down your questions and keep them. When it's time for the Q&A session, you would ask your question. Sorry. Thank you very much. So now we'll move on to the next slide. And I want to introduce someone who would be doing that. Yemi. Let's clap for Yemi. Please, I want to see the clapping emoji. You guys should. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Victoria, Richard, Victory. Thank you. Yemi, over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and you're welcome to today's session. You're welcome to the session. My name is Olayemi Ogundejo. I am the general manager of Anti-Gravity. So today I'll be walking you through Akadabu. Probably you've been hearing Akadabu on the platform. You've been wondering what is Akadabu. Basically, Akadabu is a LinkedIn for students. It's a safe space for students to learn, to network, to collaborate, and to co-create. One should think about what Akadabu is. It means something really close to you, something that is going to help you excel in your academic pursuits. Akadabo basically is an application that has a whole lot of features that help students with their studies. It helps students to also meet other students. It helps some students to learn. It helps students to grow. So Akadabo is basically a safe space for students to learn, to network, to collaborate, and also to co-create. So for the various features of Akadabo, we have a lot of features. We have features such as a GPA calculator. Yes, I know you are Jambites, and very soon you'll all be going into universities, and this is like a preparation for you to understand what a university system is like. You need to understand how your GPAs are being calculated. You also need to understand what a GPA is in itself. So what is a GPA? GPA means your gross points average. That's what GPA means. Your gross points average. It means what your being what your score is or your points is in the university. Okay, so we also have features like the mentee meets the mentor, which is the mentor section. So this is where you get to learn from SMEs. SMEs are the subject matter experts in whichever field that you intend to go into. Say, for example, you want to be a medical doctor, and there is this mentor that you've always wanted to have a conversation with. Akadabo gives you that opportunity to talk to that mentor. You can easily reach out to the mentor, and the mentor is going to respond to you. You can ask the mentor various questions. You can discuss with the mentor, and the mentor is going to give you insights. Let's say, for example, let me use our today's section as an example for a mentor meets a mentee. Let's say Steve is a mentor and you Jambites are mentees because you're trying to understand how they went through the whole jam process. That is what basically Akadabo helps you do. It creates a safe platform for you where you can also relate with people that are SMEs in their various fields. It creates a safe space for you to ask your questions, for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to also transverse through the same paths that they've already laid out for you. That is what the mentor and the mentor section is for. Then we have the resource center. The resource center has a whole plethora of features. It has things like we have the course section, we have the scholarships, and we also have the school summaries. Say you're going to a school like Uniport and you want to get insights about what Uniport is all about. You could go to the school summary and read a bit about Uniport, their history, and information available for Uniport. If you also want to go to a place like say UI, you can also go on to open our platform. You go to the school summary, you search for UI, and you're also going to see a summary on UI. That is basically what Akadabo is for. So I will do a live demo for you now so you would understand how the platform is like. So just give me a minute. Let me do that for you now. So I'm back again. So kindly confirm by raise of hand if you can see my screen clearly. Just by raise of hand if you can see my screen clearly. Okay, thank you, Promise. So this is Akadabo. This is our landing page. Once you visit the website, this is what you're going to see. Akadabo, a safe space for students to learn, to network, and also to collaborate and co-create value. So this is Akadabo. And like I talked about initially for the GPA calculator, if you don't have an account, you can always calculate your GPA on the homepage. You would see a section where you can calculate, but it is imperative for you to create an account there. You can also have a history of your various GPAs that you have calculated and also your CGPA, your cumulative gross point average. So that is what this section is for. Then we have a feature called Akada Raise. Akadabure is it's a feature that helps students to generate funds. What I mean by that is, say you're in school and you are in your final year and you have issues with generating funds for yourself to probably pay your school fees or to pay your hostel fee, or you can think of anything at all. So Akadabure is a feature that helps students to bridge that gap with their financial difficulties. So you come onto the platform, you request, and it is open to scrutiny. We don't just open it for everyone to request for funds. You have to meet a certain criteria before you can be approved for the raise. So Akadabu raise is just to help students to bridge the gap between paying for certain bills in your university. Then we have the mentor section. The mentor section, like I talked about, is, as you can see, we have some mentors here that I'm displaying. The mentor section is just for you to meet your mentor. You need to probably you have a person in a field that you would really want to relate with. You want to ask some certain questions. You want to understand how they made it through the whole ups and downs when they were in university or in the school or even after school. This platform, our platform, is going to help you achieve all that. We have various features such as a marketplace. We have a marketplace on the platform. The marketplace is basically a place where if you are a student that sells products, say for example, you sell wigs, you are a caterer, you sell food, you sell different items. You can come onto the platform and you can market your products, and you also connect with students that are interested in getting those products from you. We have things like events. Let's say you are also a caterer, you want to showcase your event, you want to do a free event for people, a paid event for people to come in and taste your food or do different things. You can also use Akadabo to do such. And the most important thing I want you all to know is the platform is fully free. There is no single hidden charge on it. Everything is free of charge. You come in, you use this to co-create, you use this to learn, you use this to grow. The impact, the value we are getting is that we are creating values in people's life. The more you add value, the more you use it, the more value you're adding to us. That is all we are gaining from this. We want you to use it. We want to help. I'm trying to get the right word to use. We're trying to help pave the way for you during your academic success. My name once again is Olayemi Ogundijo, and I once again appreciate you for coming on to this session. Thank you and cheers.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? My name is Sazi, and I'm here to take your questions, the questions you have for Kamsi and Stephen. So right now, I'll be going to the Q&A section of this call. Okay, so this one by Abubakar Usman says, please list the study materials for us. Okay, we'll definitely get them to do that, and we'll drop it for you after this call. Thank you. Okay, Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, somebody asked, okay, Caroline Ariabon asked, with the little time remaining, do you think I can make anything out of it? I think what she means is like, JAMB is starting in the next 12 days. So with this little time, that's 12 days, can she make anything out of it? Maybe by studying, or please just answer the question.
Yes, you can. 12 days is more than enough time to actually get a lot out of the study time. So firstly, I would like to emphasize the God factor because, yeah, God directs our steps in everything we do. You have to seriously pray and commit your exam onto Him. But aside from that, in the terms of things you can't control with your own hands, 12 days is a lot of time. You have to first of all sit down. You have to analyze your weaknesses, your strengths, the areas you are clear about, the areas you are still weak on. the places you need to revise, and the places that if someone wakes you up from sleep and asks you, you'll be able to get them easily. You need to define all of these things. Then you share them. Okay. The things I know I can forget easily, you have to revise them closer to the exam. While the things that maybe you are very strong on, you just leave those ones out of it. Maybe your form of revision will be past questions. Well, the thing, ones you are not too clear on, but if you maybe read them once or twice, you grab them easily. Those should somehow fall in the middle of your revision. So you just need to show, and I actually have to emphasize answering past questions because, like, the exam is very close. If you go and start reading a textbook for biology students, biology is very wide. You can actually read one topic in biology for 2 days straight. But maybe when you answer past questions on that topic, okay, you will see the areas JAMB usually tackles in that particular topic. So after answering the past questions, you see, okay, I need to know the digestive system of a grasshopper. I need to know the way the digestive system in a human being works. You get all those kind of things. So closer to the exam, I have to emphasize past questions hold a lot of value closer to the exam. You should structure your revision according to past questions. So yes, 12 days is enough time for you to do something very important in your study.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen, for answering that question. I hope you got it very clearly. 12 days is enough time to get everything in order. So I have another question from Ayo Oluwa Abulade. Kamsi, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I want you to answer this one. Ayo said, I want to know how you managed studying the 4 subjects. So I think he wants to know how you prioritized, or if there was an order of priority. You know, JAMB is 4 subjects. How did you manage to study the 4 at the same time? So please, can you answer that question for him? Thank you.
Okay. You should definitely prioritize the way you study the different 4 subjects. Like me, for example, I believe I have strengths in chemistry and maths. So I put more time. Actually, I put the most time into physics because the physics past questions were the serious. So I put a lot of time into my physics, but I also put enough time for my English, my chemistry, and my math. So you should analyze yourself. I mean, you're supposed to already know by now, okay, out of the 4 subjects that I'm going to do in JAMB, which one am I strongest in? Like which subjects do I have my strengths? Which subject is my weakness? So when you make that analysis, then you share your time according to, I don't know, the analysis. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. For the participants of this webinar, please, if you do not know where to find the question and answer section, it's the icon with the triangle sign, the square sign, and the circle sign. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have another question from Temiloluwa Animashe. Apart from setting your goals, were there any other things you guys did to get your motivation level up? Stephen, I think you should answer that one. Did you get the question correctly?
Yes, ma'am, I got the question. So aside from setting your goals, I think I'll mention 3. Firstly, you have to just think about how good it would be if you just get that score that you so desire. Well, motivation is important, but actually it's discipline that keeps you going. You can get motivated and after 3 days you burn out. But when you are disciplined, after receiving that motivation, with your discipline, the discipline is what takes you throughout that 6, 7 months, or in this case, these 12 days now, you are going to do a lot of harsh, intense revision and studying. So it's discipline that's actually going to keep you going, not just motivation. But one source of motivation is actually imagining that score that you desire. Then something that was keeping me going, me personally, was my parents, because my parents spent a lot of money on books, on materials, on classes, and lots of things. Anything I told them I needed to study, they didn't hesitate to get them for me. And I always used everything they got for me. So I just imagine in my heart, after all this money that I've spent on it, I would just break this woman's heart by bringing a very terrible score home. I couldn't. So that's one thing. When anytime I want to rest my head and sleep, I would just see that bad score and me presenting it to my parents, and then we just get up. I have to study, I have to study, I have to study. That was another thing. Then the last thing that motivated me, although I didn't really have too many people in school that were motivating me. So my teachers actually helped a lot with it. My teachers motivated me seriously. I would always go to my teachers, and my teachers were always pushing me, inspiring me, and constantly like fueling that motivation in me. So you have to surround yourself with good people. Also, some of the classes I went for, I had competition in some of them. There was competition. Like when we wrote JAMB mock, before, at a point in my life when I was writing JAMB mock, I would write and I would score like 314, and I would be like a local champion, very happy, tested everybody. But then when I got to an area where there was competition, I scored 326, and 326 is an awesome score, but 326 wasn't in the top five. Somebody else scored 326. Somebody scored 329. Someone scored 331. Someone scored 335. And then you look at all these people. When I see those people, I said, no, next time I'm going to beat that person. Next time I'm going to score higher than that person. That environment also pushes you forward in your quest to actually do very well in your jam. So you have to surround yourself with good people. So I think with those three things, you should have enough motivation and keep your discipline alive in your study and preparation.
All right, thank you very much. Kamsi, please, can you shed a little light on that question too? Kamsi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me read the question again. Apart from setting your goals, were there any other things you guys did to get your motivation level up? So just little time, please. Just little.
Okay. Apart from setting my goals, especially towards this like when the exam is fast approaching, during this time, like when I was writing my own jam, one thing I did to motivate myself was to remind myself that this exam is just to write it and get over with it. It's not now that the exam is so near that I'll start slacking off or anything. Just try to motivate yourself. You tell yourself that okay, the exam is so close. Immediately after this exam, I'll finally have the time I need to do all those things that I really, really want to do. So what I did to motivate myself was just tell myself that okay, the exam is coming, and once I write it, I've written it once and for all, and that's the end. So that's one thing I kept on telling myself. Then okay, let me think. Anything else I did to motivate myself? I think that's it. Can't really put my finger on any more things. That's one thing I do. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Kamsi, I have one last question for you. Victory Ebibo wants to know, did you cover your syllabus? How did you cope with physics and chemistry? Mostly the formula, calculations, the reading aspect. It's a lot. And for all science students, we know that it's a lot, all the formula. So please, Kamsi, can you shed light on that?
Okay, the formulas. How did I
did you
cope?
cover your syllabus? How did you cope with physics and chemistry? Mostly the formula, calculations, the reading aspects. It's a lot.
I don't think I covered my syllabus, but one thing I did in subjects like physics and chemistry, there will obviously be some parts that in your heart that you understand definitely, and then there are some parts that you don't, like, you are just not grabbing it. So what you do, try to focus on those parts that you are not grabbing at all. Make sure you understand them, and then is now like few days to the exam that you start catching up on all those parts that you are very sure that you understood before, just to refresh your memory, make sure that everything is fresh in your memory. And then when you use your past questions, it's just the questions. So like you're looking at the answers, and then you are looking at the questions, trying to solve them, seeing how you can apply the formulas, and then the past questions will show you like which formulas did I miss, which formula do I not understand, all those things. So right now, the best thing for you to be doing is to be looking at your past questions for physics and chemistry, for all the subjects. In fact, just focus on your PQ, because right now, this is not the time that you say that you want to come and start covering a topic. Yes, you can go back to your textbook, maybe to read something again. Like if you see a question, like one of the past questions, you can go back to your textbook so that you can refresh your memory. But it's not the one that you say that, okay, that I want to cover from year to year now in how many days to the exam. Focus on your past questions. That's the only advice I can give you.
All right, Kamsi, thank you very, very much for that amazing answer. Okay, I have one last question, and just 30 seconds, please, on the answers. Let me start with you, Kamsi, since you're already here. When you were studying for JAMB, like, was there any time you studied throughout the night that you had to deprive yourself of sleep just to study?
Study throughout the night? No, I never did that. But sometimes I studied into the night, like maybe 12, 1. Then by 1 o'clock I was asleep.
Okay. Can you give like maybe one tip for staying awake, because one of the viewers wants to know just one tip for staying awake when on a norm you're used to sleeping by like 8 o'clock, so you know that by like 9 you're already dozing. So what tip can you give to like staying awake in the night?
I think that staying awake in the night depends on the kind of person that you are. If you are someone who likes to read during the day, then I think you should stick to reading during the day. That's what I believe. But if you're a night reader, then you can stick to your night reading. Me, I'm not a night reader, so I don't really know any tips. It's depending on how I feel that day. If I feel like, I have energy to actually stay up and read this thing, then I'll do it. But I'm not a night reader.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Stephen. Thank you very, very much, Kamsi, for answering those questions. Really, really appreciate it. So now this is to all the viewers here. Most of you are writing JAMB, and you all know about the various CBT platforms on different websites and all. So now Akadabu is launching a free CBT platform, and it's very amazing. Trust me, I wish when I was writing JAMB I had this platform, because I wouldn't have gotten the score I got in JAMB. So right now we are going to play a video, and you see how this CBT platform works. So Godwin, please share.
We are adding a free CBT platform to Akadabu. On our CBT platform, we have an exam mode and a practice mode just for you. You can pick out any subject you want and get ahead to testing. The Akadabu CBT platform has an inbuilt 100% accurate calculator that can assist you with calculating while testing. Our CBT platform doesn't only tell you why an option is correct, it also gives you the reasons why the other options are incorrect. This platform offers detailed explanations on all questions, and it also has a feature where you can take down notes, reminders, and write down topics you need to cover up for future reference purposes. After taking your test and submitting successfully, this CBT platform evaluates your performance and gives you your results. The Akadabu platform is accessible to all and it is 100% free. To get started, register today or get your child, ward or mentee to register today at www.akadabu.com.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Peter. Also, okay, okay, okay. My name is Peter. I'm also one of your Jambites and also an anchor for today. So I guess right now we'll be having the fastest finger. And please, if you're able to get one, you should please share it on the screen and let us know that you got one. And thank you very much. So Godwin, you can please now share it.
All right,
So
everyone, please load the airtimes on your screen. And if it loads successfully, please tell us in the chat box. We are waiting. We purposely the particular. So, may the odds be in your favor.
so should I close it? Hello? Should I close it?
All right, thank you very much. Godwin, next slide, please.
Okay, that was good.
All right, guys. So right now, I'm back again. Ayo. Right now, we are moving to how to successfully register on Akadabu. So we'll invite Yemi again. Yemi would come and tell us how to register on Akadabu. Yemi, the floor is yours.
Visit www.akadabu.com. Once on the homepage, click on the three lines on the top right and you'll be taken to a page where you can sign up. You can choose to sign up as an undergraduate in the university, a JAMBite, or a high schooler. Once you pick your option, fill the form correctly, your name, your username, your email address. Put in a password you can remember, check the box to agree to our user agreement and privacy policy, and take the robot test. Once you pass this test, you would have successfully signed up for Akadabu. You can engage in posts, interact with posts, comment on posts, and you can even make your own posts on Akadabu. To get started, visit www.akadabu.com and sign up today.
All right, guys. Did we get the please and please let's all try and register on the app. It's going to be very, 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 very useful. I heard someone asking if the if the app is useful for Jambites. Yes, yes. The app is very, very useful for Jambites. Please register on the app. It's for your own good. It will help you. You heard the advantages.
Getting
It
it
has a
correct.
lot of advantages. So please, the link has been posted on the chat box. Go to the chat box, follow the link, click the link, and register. The video has been played. It's very simple. Just click the link and then you will be able to continue. I promise you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Like my colleague Ayo has said, log on to www.akadabu.com to sign up. And that is where the CBT platform is. It's 100% free, no hidden charges, and it has a lot of great platforms. I'm sure you won't even get tired of using the app. So please sign up today.
But excuse me, Excuse me. Please do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. The CBT app.
Yeah, go on. I can hear you. Thank you. Jeremiah, can you speak up? Hello, Jeremiah.
The JAMB app. I could not get the info of the JAMB CBT app. So could you tell me a little bit detail of the JAMB app? Didn't hear what you said.
Sorry,
The JAMB app. The JAMB app. Could you give me a little detail of how the app is, the CBT training app for JAMBite?
Okay, the CBT app is currently under development and it will be on Akadabo once it's done. But it's basically where you go for your past questions testing, it evaluates your performance, gives you detailed explanations, and so much more. It's just like you are rehearsing or you are taking a JAMB mock examination. That is what the app is about.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so before the event started, we announced that we'll be gifting members of we'll be gifting participants this novel, Roadmap to 5.0, and we dropped criteria for winning, and we already have our winners. And apologies for the break in transmission. We already have our winners and they will be announced on Akadabo. So you have to join Akadabo to be able to get the book. Now for the airtime also, if you loaded it successfully, please indicate in the chat box. Okay, out of 16 airtime digits we dropped, we have only 5 winners. So we're going to post the same able to see it again so that you'll be able to win the airtime. Want to thank our speakers, Stephen Aguele and Kamsiyochukwu Umeh. We really appreciate you for coming on here to join us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the insights. Thank you so much. This JAMBite really appreciates you, and we are grateful to you for joining us here. And we have come to the end of this webinar. We want to thank you all for joining us. We want to thank you all for being here. For those asking questions like what materials did they use, what past questions did they use, what textbooks did they use, don't worry, we will definitely be dropping all this information on Akadabo. You can follow us on our social medias at Anti-Gravity Group, Anti-Gravity NG, and also Akadabo. We'll be dropping the recording of this meeting there for you to go and watch in your free time.
Excuse me. Are you hearing me? Excuse me.
Hello, sorry. So we have come to the end of the session. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Sorry, we can't take any more questions. If you have any more questions, please register on the Akadabo app, and I promise you all your questions will be answered. Yes, all your questions will be answered. So if you have any more questions, go to www.akadabo.com, register, log in, and then all your questions will be answered there. We have prizes. We have prizes for the first 5 people that joined, and the rest. Please register on Akadabo and you would get your prize. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Kamsi, for your time. We love you. Yes, Anti-Gravity loves you so much. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you to all the Jambites here. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for being here, and we wish you all the best in your exams. I wish you all the best in your exams. Thank you, and we are signing out now.
Yo, nigga.